Well, welcome to a TV Tacoma sports special. Tonight it's Metro Parks Tacoma 14U Championship Baseball coming to you from beautiful Cheney Stadium. Hello everyone, I'm Randy McNair along with former Major Leaguer Jim Nettles.
Great to be here, and these kids are excited. You know, they play on these fields all year. They got to rake them after the game, water them. They're playing in the big time now. They're excited.
And the first pitch on the way. We are underway in the 14U Championship game. It's the Watch Baseball against TUGS Premier. And what a game we have lined up for you fans. Here comes the second pitch, and then for a strike. So Nick Findley coming out throwing strikes right off the bat. Got a quick 0-2 count. Colton Wage is the hitter, center fielder for Walachit.
I think the Curtis High School coach will like this kid. He's throwing strikes. That's where he's going to school right now, Curtis Junior High School.
Nick Findley, 3 pitches, 3 strikes to start off the game. And here comes the pitch on the way. Swung on by Colton, hit to the shortstop, fielded easily, and the throw to first is underway. We got 1 out here in the 14U Championship game. Jim, I tell you what, if I had this opportunity when I was a kid, who knows, I might be playing in the major leagues. I'd just fall in love with it.
I'll tell you, the first time I got on a field this nice, my brothers were playing in the city championship game in San Diego, and they were playing the San Diego Padres AAA ballpark there in San Diego at the time, and I was the bat boy, and I was thrilled.
Well, Hazen Christensen will step up to the plate, second baseman for Walachit. Where's number 3 on the back? As you can see, bats from the right side of the plate. And has already taken a swing at his first pitch. And the next pitch is hit to the third baseman. That's Alex Wilson. He tosses over to first base in time for out number 2. So 2 batters, 2 outs for Nick Findley. And that'll bring up the pitcher, number 22, Tyler DeLuca. Tyler batting in the 3 spot. He'll be attending Harbor Ridge Middle School next year. He's heading into the 8th grade. Here's Findley's first pitch, and a little outside.
It's the first ball he's thrown.
Yes, it is.
Keep his defenders on their toes.
So 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And I tell you what, the difference between these 2 teams during the regular season was quite apparent. You look at the standings. TUGS sitting at 12-2 at the top of the division, and Walachit at 1-10. But yet Walachit is here playing in the championship game, Jim.
Yeah, you got to peak at the right time.
Well, 3 up, 3 down. Well, do you have a child who wants to play after-school sports? Well, Metro Parks Tacoma has opened registration for the elementary sports program at all of Tacoma Public's elementary schools. The program starts with soccer and golf in the fall. Other offerings during the year are basketball, volleyball, flag football, and baseball. Program partners include the YMCA of Pierce and Kitsap counties, the Boys and Girls Clubs of South Puget Sound, and the First Tee. For more information about this exciting and healthy opportunity for kids, call Metro Parks at 253-305-1022. So leading off for TUGS Premier will be Grant Carr, shortstop, wearing number 7. On deck will be Brady Cabezuela. Pitching for Walachit is Tyler DeLuca. First pitch is a little low and outside, so ball 1. Grant Carr, they call him the Rooster. Why? I do not know, and the coach doesn't know why either, but that's what they call him. They call him the Rooster. He's been a core player with TUGS. He's been with them for over 4 years. Now an opportunity to play in the championship with the TUGS here in year 4 at Cheney Stadium. So DeLuca's fallen behind 3-0 in his first batter compared to Nick Findley. Nick Findley went firing right after Walachit hitters. And there's Tyler's first strike of the game. For Walachit, in the outfield will be Hansen, Wage, and Coombs from left to right. And there's first walk of the game. Grant Carr's aboard.
You said he'd been with them for 4 years.
That's right.
And they started that program 4 years ago, so he's been with them the whole time. And I've watched that program grow. I've worked with some of those kids, and they have gone from a ragtag bench to some really good players.
So Brady Cabezuela is our hitter now, steps up into the box. And this one misses outside. And Jim, I don't know if you're noticing where Tyler's missing, but he's missing a lot outside. You know.
Yeah. The last pitch, he almost hit the hitter. He just, he may be a little excited right now. He may be flying. He's falling off to the side real bad. His head should be coming straight at the pitcher or at the catcher. He's headed toward the first base coaching box.
You know, that just could be just a loss of focus as far as, you know, where we're playing. It's a championship game. He's got a lot running through his head.
Could be.
So just a small reminder from a coach could get that back on track.
Yeah, just throw the catcher. You got to throw the catcher. Don't worry about where you are right now.
Grant Carr's over on first base. We'll kind of get an idea of where the Tugs sit as far as being aggressive, or their level of aggressiveness on whether he's going to take off here on this batter. Brady Cabezuela. This kid's got a good stick. Brady's also been with the team for over 4 years. This one is fouled down the third base line, and count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike.
I saw these kids 4 years ago. They were so young then and didn't have much coaching, but they've come leaps and bounds. That program there is just incredible.
Well, Coach Jay's done a good job, and as we mentioned, Brady's got a good stick. He laces one down the third base line. Heading to third base is Grant Carr. He'll get there, and taking off to second base on the throw is Cabezuela. So Tugs Premier already threatening here in the bottom of the first inning. Gotta bring up Nick Findley, the pitcher, number 28.
And we got a visit from the mound already here. He's probably just going to calm him down a little bit. Just enjoy this moment, have some fun out there.
Well, Nick Findley, of course, the number 3 hitter, he's been one of their best hitters, if not their best hitter for the last 2 years. This kid can really break the baseball. And now he steps in with 2 runners in scoring position. So
that's one thing I like about this level there. Sometimes your best athlete is your pitcher and your shortstop and something else, and they let them do both. And because sometimes they get to college, they make them a PO, a pitcher only, and sometimes these really good ball players. There's probably some guys could be playing major league outfielders right now. Maybe went to college, they made them a pitcher, and maybe as far as they went. Play as all the positions you can play, as long as you can play.
This is kind of an extended mound visit. Umpire hasn't even gone out yet, as far as I've seen.
Making some sort of change out here. The right fielder's coming in for. Oh, they changed pitchers? I didn't even notice.
Just like that, huh?
They changed pitchers. I didn't notice they changed pitchers.
Looks like Hazen Christensen's taken over for the pitching duties. So we'll watch it, and I'm wondering what happened. Tyler DeLuca. That was a quick outing.
That was shorter than some of my stints on the mound when I pitched.
Well, maybe, I don't know if he went out of the ball game or if he moved to a different position.
I think he stayed in, but I wasn't even looking for him changing a pitcher this early. But
stick around for some details on that.
Yeah.
So Nick Findley's going to step into the box for Tugs Premier. And Findley, one of their better hitters, if not their best hitter. He's got runners on second and third. He's got Grant on third and Brady on second. And
number 3, Hazen Christensen. Moving from shortstop to second base, 64, Readwin. And now shortstop, number 22, Tyler DeLuca.
So DeLuca moves to shortstop, which is his second position. And I'll be interested to get some details on that pitching change.
That was rather quick. I pitched in high school. The first time I pitched, at least the coach I walked through, hit one before he got me out.
Well, Nick Findley. Nick Findley is a hitter, and he steps in there with ducks on the pond. He's got runners on second and third, and Tugs Premier already threatening here in the championship game. And Hazen's first pitch is a little low. I tell you what, you couldn't ask for much better weather. You were telling me, Jim, last year the weather wasn't ideal.
It was cold. It was cold and it was wet.
And now we've got beautiful blue skies here at Cheney Stadium. I don't see a single cloud in the sky. And got green grass. Field's looking in top shape. Mike Huey does a great job with the grass here at Cheney Stadium. And of course, with the AAA All-Star game, pressure's on him to get this field in tip-top shape, and he's done a great job.
This field has always been a great field. They've had great groundskeepers for 30 years that I've been here.
Well, Hazen Christensen, he's fallen behind in his first batter, 3-0. And Hazen's having a hard time finding the strike zone. You know, this is such a David and Goliath game. With you got the top team in the division during the regular season playing against the team that was at the bottom of the division, and yet somehow WallACH's come out and found their way to Cheney Stadium for a championship game. But you know, you got a team that's been playing together for so long. You were mentioning that earlier, Jim.
That does make a difference. These kids know each other, and it's only a 4-team league.
Well, Hazen Christensen walks his first batter, and now the bases are loaded for Tugs Premier. And that'll bring up Evan Bailey, left fielder. Another big bat for Tugs Premier, and he's a lefty. That pitch is swung on and hit down the first base side. It'll find its way out of play. And Hazen has his first strike.
I'm just looking at his bio right here, and it says, "What high school are you going to go to next year?" And he just says IDEA. I don't know if that's a school, but
it's got to be an acronym.
It might be.
Well, the bases are loaded for Tugs Premier. They are threatening right off the bat here in the first inning. You got Carr on third, Brady on second. Nick Findley just walked. He's over on first base. And that ball is hit.
Could be a double play.
To the shortstop. And oof. Well, it turns out to be a routine out. Turns out to be 2 runs in for Tugs Premier.
Yeah, I think the second baseman forgot that there was a man on first. He didn't get over there very fast. He should have been much closer.
That makes it 2-0. That's going to bring up Gaby Kret. Going to charge that in air to the shortstop. So runners at the corners now for Tugs Premier, and now comes Gaby Kret, and runner's going to take off right off the bat and head down to second base, and there wasn't even an effort there. I know sometimes you throw down, sometimes you don't, depending on how fast that runner at third base is. And
yeah, at this level, they pretty much let him go.
So Nick Findley's over there. Routine ground ball to the first baseman. He's going to take the first himself. And there's the first out of the game for the WallACH defense. And that's got to take some kind of weight off their shoulders. They got it, Jim.
He did score a run, though.
So Jacob Parrish, the catcher, steps up to the plate. Jacob, the 5th batter, or the 6th batter, I'm sorry. First pitch is fouled down the right field line. Jacob is their catcher, and this guy, from what I hear, he can do it all. He can hit, he can field, and he's on his way.
He's a big, tall kid.
Yes, he is. Definitely over 6 foot, that's for sure. Remember, this is 14U. 0-1 the count on Parrish.
They get their growth. I coached a 13-year-old team one year, and we saw a 14-year-old team. The difference was like night and day. That is they hit their growth years, and some of them, these kids are huge.
That pitch is fouled straight back.
freshman out on Jacob Parrish.
Jacob's got a 1-2 count on him. That one's hit down the third base line, and that's going to get into left field. That might be extra bases.
Be a double.
Evan Bailey's going to score. And Jacob Parrish is heading into second base, and he's in there safely with an RBI double. And TUGS Premier just keeps tacking it on here in the bottom of the first inning. 4-0. So one out here in the bottom of the first, and Adam Pedigo steps up to the plate, right fielder, and there's a toss back to second base from Hazen. Well, TUGS Premier's come out swinging the bats. Watch it having some tough times throwing some strikes, but when they do throw strikes, boy, TUGS Premier's right there to hit them down the line for extra bases or put some contact on the ball. Adam Pedigo, the hitter.
It almost looks like they're putting a shift on. They have that second baseman hold them on by standing on the base, so he's sort of out of position.
Jacob Parrish at second base. There's a swing and a miss. Give Hazen some confidence there. The count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. You got one out here at the bottom of the first inning, and TUGS lead by a score of 4-0. Hazen Christensen on the mound. Started with Tyler DeLuca, but they took him out after a very, very quick outing. And strike 2. Adam Pedigo, he's going to go to Olympia High School next year. It's my neck of the woods, Jim.
Is that right? Yeah. Wow, I didn't know they had him from that far away playing
South
for the
Sound.
TUGS. Good
Yeah.
for him.
This is his first year with the TUGS. And they say this guy can play everywhere. There's a strikeout for Hazen Christensen.
That's a long drive up from Olympia. They work out down here, right over here by the stadium during the winter time.
So Hazen Christensen picks up his first K of the day. And after all that's happened here in the first inning, that's got to feel pretty good for Hazen. He's got to be thinking to himself, well, maybe I can do this.
That's it, dude. Feed the wall.
It's been a tough start for Watch. So Alex Wilson, the hitter, third baseman, number 37, he steps into the box. Favorite baseball player is Mike Trout. That's not a bad baseball player to like.
Not real surprising.
That pitch is inside.
So you'll see a lot of Robinson Cano and Mike Trout. Probably more Cano around here, but if you were in the LA area, it'd be.
Bryce Harper seems to be a big favorite too.
Yeah.
The pitch is going to be fouled away. Count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. And Alex Wilson on deck is Picinich, extra hitter.
Got it. We're ready.
Jacob Parrish on second base. Smacked a double down the left field line. And Hazen comes set. Now he grounds this one to the shortstop. This should be out number 3. And it is. Watch gets out of the inning, but not after the TUGS Premier put up 4 runs. And we have been through 1 inning here at Cheney Stadium in the championship game. Your score, TUGS Premier 4, Watch baseball 0. Well, fans, we're going to toss it down to Hunter George. I hear you got a special guest down there. Is that true?
Indeed, I do. Thanks, guys. I'm joined down here in the third base dugout by Deputy Mayor Robert Thoms. Deputy Mayor, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much, Hunter. I'm glad to be here. It's a good event to watch the Tacoma TUGS play the Watch team. This is fun.
This is a great partnership between the city and Metro Parks, which is how this comes about. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I'm really appreciative that the Metro Parks, along with the Tacoma Rainiers and the city of Tacoma, avail the stadium for the kids to come out here and play their championship game. This is great. This is good. This is what a good summer day is all about.
You have some family experience with this league. How do you feel about having that available to kids in the city?
These kids are a little bit older than my son, but I have my son and his buddy who are both pitchers in their team. It's a 10-year-old league in Metro Park. So they're great to be here tonight and look forward to the All-Star game as well. So we're very proud of the investment Metro Parks has made in this league and supporting the kids and youth of Tacoma.
One last question here. We've got the AAA All-Star game coming up. It seems like there's some great exposure for Tacoma happening here, and we have this great facility to show for it.
Well, I mean, we're blessed here to have such a wonderful stadium. The community, the citizens of Tacoma invested in Cheney Stadium, so it's just a really good jewel here in the Northwest, and we love to have the All-Star game and all the different types of events that the Tacoma Rainiers are able to bring here.
That's great. Well, someday maybe we'll see one of your kids out here on the field.
I'd love to see that. Yeah, this would be a good time for that.
All right. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Thanks, Hunter. Well, we head to the top of the second inning, and things off to a rocky start for Walachette as they find themselves down in a 4-0 hole heading into the top of the second inning. And leading off the top of the second is Eli Readwin, the second baseman. He takes the first pitch, swing and a miss, and the count moves to 0-1. Elisha Readwin wears number 42 and is going to attend Peninsula High School next year as a freshman.
I noticed that each of these kids gets their own walk-up music when they come up too. That's probably a thrill for them.
They're getting the true big league experience, Jim. They got their pictures on the video board. They've got the walk-up music, like you said. They've got the broadcasters, and they got the PA announcer, Anthony Finney, who's the PA announcer today. They've got it all. I mean, what a thrill for these kids. Well, contact is made by Eli, but it's hit right to the shortstop, and Eli grounds out for the first out here in the top of the second.
Number 4, Josh Hinkel.
Brings up third baseman Josh Hinkel. Number 5 batter. Josh Hinkel, favorite player is Kyle Seeger. Takes the first pitch. Strike, 0-1 on Hinkel. Walachette still hitless here in the top of the second inning. This one's hit back to the mound, and it's fielded easily by Nick Findley. He throws over to first base, and that'll be out number 2, 2 away.
Mr. Findley works quick and throws strikes, and every coach, every defender just loves that. It's just, he comes right at you, he gets ahead.
Well, check out this cat, Jim. This guy's got to be over 6 foot as well.
From here, he looks 6'4".
This is Mac Bryant.
That's a tall kid.
Mac Bryant, an extra hitter. 14 years old. 6'2", 6'4". He's got to be in there somewhere, but this kid hits really well for Walachette. And as far as the coach is concerned, this kid's a real leader for these guys on the baseball club, and he grounds out back to the pitcher, and that's going to be a quick 1, 2, 3 inning. Well, Metro Parks Tacoma wants you to know that the Park District's 2 outdoor pools at Candle and Stewart Heights Parks are open through Labor Day. Candle has the only artificial wave pool in Pierce County. I didn't know that. We'll learn something new every day. Stewart Heights has a 120-foot waterfoot slide. It's a great way to beat the heat and have some fun, especially with all these hot days we've been having lately. You can also swim year-round indoors at the center at North Point, the People's Community Center, and at the East Side Pool. So I'm marking those down right now for my 2 girls. I got a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. Going to be heading to some Metro Parks pools here to beat the heat. Make sure you do the same. Well, back here at beautiful Cheney Stadium on a beautiful Wednesday evening, Wednesday after 4th of July, actually, the day after America turns 241 years old.
Wow.
And we're coming to you now for the Metro Parks Tacoma 14U Championship baseball game. It's Walachette and TUGS Premier going at it. And now we're in the bottom of the second inning. Caleb Picinich steps into the box and has already taken a couple pitches from Hazen Christensen, and Hazen has fallen behind 2-0. Pitch outside, ball 3.
241 years.
That's right,
Wow.
241 years old.
I just remember on the 200th celebration, that was one of my favorite days in baseball.
Why is that?
I was playing in the Mexican League, and we played a ball game in Juarez, Mexico. Juarez lived in El Paso, and then we went home to have dinner, and then we left on the bus in Juarez. and went down to Puebla, which is 27 hours. No air conditioning, no bathroom on the bus.
Those are the good old days.
Yeah.
Well, this one's grounded to the shortstop, but boy, Readwin's having a tough time over there at shortstop. He's kind of missed a couple balls over there. That one was a fielding error, and then he also earlier in the game had a hard time tossing over to second base for an easy force. So the defense for Willachett's having a tough time today, Jim. And I was talking to Coach Ray yesterday, and he says that typically tends to be the Achilles heel in this team. They typically tend to have an inning or two where the defense just
that's all it takes, especially with leadoff error. And
since popped up, that's going to drop in for a base hit, and there's going to be absolutely no play to get any runners. That's going to go down as a hit for Kobe Myers.
at least on this field, they don't have to worry about the bad hops too much. It's such a nice field. They're just going to they'll make some throwing errors, and that's where it's going to happen. Oh, he missed that easy grounder last time.
So Caleb's on second, Kobe now on first, and now Ty Radford, the extra hitter, steps into the box. No defensive position for Ty. He's just an extra hitter today. Both teams batting their entire roster to give everybody an opportunity to play here at Cheney Stadium, which I think is pretty cool, Jim.
That's a great idea. It just says if you're hitting 14th, you're hoping you get through twice. The way they're going, I think they will.
Ty Radford, he's kind of stuck out there. He's going to Vashon High School, so he's kind of isolated out there on Vashon Island.
Well, they got a few kids coming down from Vashon, this team.
This guy's also a tall guy. This guy,
yes, he is.
Probably around 6'3" or so. As Hazen falls behind, 2 balls in 1 strike on Ty. Runners on second and first for TUGS Premier. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one's lifted to right field. Should be an easy, no, it's going to drop in for a base hit in front of Zach Coons. So all runners will advance 90 feet, and now the bases are loaded for TUGS Premier yet again.
Sometimes you just hit them where they ain't, and that was that case right there. Just looped in there.
So 3 consecutive runners on base for TUGS Premier. And now Jason Blackburn steps up to the plate, extra hitter for TUGS. Jackson has been with the program for a couple years. Plays outfield and pitcher. Today he starts the game as an extra hitter. Bases are loaded, the infield, the corners are in at least. And the next pitch is swung on, and that's off the third baseman's glove. He might have a play at first base, and it's going to get overthrown. It'll stay in play, but runners will advance a couple times, and this is a tough defensive day. That ball gets away, and that's going to get out of play, and that's going to advance the runners even more. Boy, Jim.
That's just a little sloppy right now. It's just you got to take care of the ball first. No
because
doubt.
there's
No
tons
doubt.
of baseball left to play, Jim.
Yeah, learn to enjoy this moment, being here and everything, and just you gotta get that score out of your mind right now.
So Picinich and Myers, they all advance on that last play. Radford goes from first to third, so actually everybody scored. Jackson Blackburn is all the way at third base. Justin Brennan now the hitter for TUGS.
I'm just looking at his bio, and I'm thinking he might be the team clown. It got him listed as his favorite food is spaghetti with syrup. His probably favorite movie is probably Alf. Favorite hobbies, bird watching and poetry. And he's got a base hit.
And he's got a base hit. Another run across the plate for TUGS Premier, and that one's going to get away from the left fielder. Boy, that's Dustin Hanson out there, and the defensive errors continue for Willachet. That'll be a single, and he'll advance to second on an error on the outfielder. So still no outs here in the bottom of the second inning. Willachet has put up 4 more runs. They did that in the first inning. Justin Brennan's on second base. This is Elisha Howard, who's going to round things off for TUGS Premier. Grounds out to the first baseman. There's your first out on the bottom of the second. So we roll over to the top of the lineup for TUGS Premier. Grant Carr steps up to the plate, led off the game with a walk. And that ball's going to get away from the catcher, and another run's going to come across the plate. That's going to be Justin Brennan, who heads up over there.
That's a nice reaction. That ball, as soon as it got by, he was off. He was prepared for that.
5 runs across the plate for TUGS Premier here in the bottom of the second. They lead 9-0. Count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. Grant Carr, the shortstop for TUGS Premier. Going to go to Stadium High School next year. The great stadium. This one's grounded to the shortstop, charging
nice
the short. Yeah. Of course, is in time.
That play will settle his nerves a little bit. That was a very nice play. Attack that ball.
I think that's one of the things I'd like to see more of in Little League is infielders attacking the ball, and especially getting that short hop.
Right. He played it like you're supposed to. He did everything right that time.
Of course, that's Evan Readwin over there at shortstop for Willachet. Josh Hinkel's at third. Hazen's at second. Eli is at first. Sam Haddon catching. Count moves to 2-0 on Brady Cabezuela, coach's son, Coach Jay's son. Takes a look at strike 1, 2-1. Favorite food is Mexican. Now, that's my kind of guy.
Mine too.
He's got tacos and burritos. I would have never have guessed. 3-1. Hazen Christensen is your pitcher for Willachet. He came in very quickly after Tyler DeLuca exited the game back in the first inning. It had to have been after the second batter.
Yeah, I think it was 2 hitters.
And
he might have had some arm problems. I'm thinking he was hurting, and let's get him out of there.
Well, now Hazen has got Brady at 3-2, full count with 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Here comes the 3-2 pitch on the way, and that ball is well stroked to left field. That's going to get over the head of left fielder Austin. Rounding first base is Brady. He's going to round second base and head to third. Ball hits the cutoff man. The throw to third is going to be not in time. That's going to be a triple for Brady Cabezuela.
That was well stroked. That might be the long ball we see tonight. That was pretty good. And a nice relay by the outfielder.
So a 2-out triple for Brady, and now Nick Findley is going to step into the box. Nick Findley, one of the better hitters on the team. He's been with the team for about 2 years. Also Nick, the starting pitcher for today's game. When he's not on the mound, he's playing third base, so you can expect to see Nick move over to third base when he gets taken out of this game. And I'm assuming with the way the score is going, it's going to be sooner rather than later, because I know Coach Jay talked about getting everybody in, get an opportunity on the Cheney Stadium mound.
He's gone 2 innings. He's probably throwing about 17 pitches. I don't know how many pitches. Not many. He's getting them out.
I've ran out of fingers. That pitch just popped up to the shortstop. That's Evan, and Evan might have lost it in the sun there, Jim, but that ball's going to drop in.
Oh, I thought he had it. He was in position.
Well, he called it.
Right over his head.
Number 22, Evan Bailey.
So now Evan Bailey steps in. By the way, that scored Brady from third base. makes it 10-0 Tugs. Nick Findley over there on first base now. Evan Bailey, the hitter. Bailey, left fielder. Where's number 22? Lefty. Another pickoff move over to first base, and Hazen might just be giving himself some time just to kind of relax. Well, Jim, you being a former major leaguer, I'm sure you had plenty of games where just things weren't clicking for the defense, were just things that don't usually happen, and all of a sudden they're happening, and
you just never know. I mean, you go out there and you feel great, and you just sometimes it just happens. Other times, yeah, you just I don't know. There's no explanation for some of the plays we make or don't make sometimes. Throw right, just went right by the first baseman. Didn't look like a bad throw, but the runner sliding probably got in his way.
Nick Findley heads down to second base. And Hazen seemed to be a little distracted by Nick Findley over there at first, because he threw over there a couple times, and then he threw over there that third time, and not sure what happened there. There's a shot in the left field for another base hit for TUGS Premier. Runners advance 90 feet. Evan Bailey is aboard. That brings up Gabe E. Craig. You know, I was thinking, Jim, you got the championship and you've got Cheney Stadium. If I was a kid, it would seem like playing at Cheney Stadium would be the championship in and of itself. So as far as it being a championship game, I mean, you think that maybe that's probably in the back of their head behind playing at Cheney Stadium?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm sure they'll enjoy every minute of playing here. When it's all said and done, if it continues like this, they're not going to like to score much, but being here is special. It really is.
Not at all discrediting the fact that this is a championship game, but boy, you got two big situations here where you get to play at a big league ballpark, and then it happens to be your championship game.
Yeah, there's a team that went 1-10 during the season, got hot in the playoffs, you know, beat a couple teams, and got to the championship game. So they're sometimes that team comes in. That's the dangerous team. It's just not working that way today.
Now, Walachit and TUGS Premier, they did meet in round one of the tournament bracket, and TUGS Premier, they came out on top 17-1. That was back on June 22nd. That put Walachit into the losers bracket, and from there, Walachit was able to come back to the losers bracket, and now here they are. These two teams have played each other quite a bit this season. In fact, they played each other 5 times.
We have that composite score. It's 68 to 15.
15.
Yeah, it's pretty lopsided.
Closest came back on the 4th time these two teams played each other. TUGS won by a score of 8-7.
That's a close.
Was their best game yet. And of course, Walachit was hoping for more of a game like that one, but it's turned a little lopsided. 10-0 is your score here in the top of the 3rd inning.
I got to think the football coach is looking for this kid coming in next year.
This is Gabe E. Cred, the first baseman.
He's a big kid. It says he plays football too, so,
well, that one's just absolutely laced down the 3rd base line. It's going to get through for extra bases.
That's a double.
Nick's going to score. Evan Bailey's going to come around and score, and Gabe E. Cred into second base with a stand-up 2-run double.
Apparently they have a run limit.
7 runs, I believe.
7 runs in an inning. Inning ends.
Well, fans are going to go ahead and toss it down to Hunter. Hunter, you got another special guest down there.
I do, guys. I'm joined by Coach Jay Cabezuela of TUGS Premier.
Yes.
And thanks for joining us here.
Anytime.
So this has to be a pretty special experience for these boys. What's it like? What do you think it's like for them? What have they told you it's like playing in a professional stadium?
Oh, they've been working all year to try to get to this point so they can have an opportunity to play here, and I'm just really excited to allow them to have this opportunity. They're a great group of kids.
I think it's a neat experience that they can see their picture on the board and choose their walk-up music. Have you been hearing from them about kind of how fun that is?
Oh, yeah, they've been, that's the topic of conversation for about the last 10 days is who's going to pick what song and debating over songs. But they're so excited, and I couldn't be happier for them.
What do you think this does for their confidence in learning this game? And
You know, they've worked really hard over the last 6 months, so hopefully they'll know that if you work really hard, you can get a great experience like this. So, you know, good things come to those who work hard.
thank you. Well, congratulations on getting to this point. It's 10-0 going into the third, or 12-0, excuse me, going into the third. You guys are having a pretty good game here.
Yeah, the kids are hitting really well today, so nice to see.
All right, thank you very much,
All right,
Coach.
thank you.
Back to you guys.
Now Caleb has got a fastball and he's got a curve. It's more of a 12-6 curve, so this ought to be interesting to watch. Started with just a fastball and he's really developed a curveball this year. Well, that's Sam Haddon who grounds out to the second baseman, and we're officially underway here in the third inning.
I believe every out's been a ground ball so far, hasn't it?
Yep, yes it has. We've got 6-3, 1-3, 1-3, 4-3, 5-3, everything to the infield. And now Zach Coons steps up to the plate. Interesting story here with Zach Coons. He started halfway through this season. Apparently his mom called before the season started, wondering if there is room on the team. There was no room. And then COÁCH had an injury happen halfway through the season, and so mom called again and found himself a spot on the team.
Yeah, good call, Mom. He just got the first hit, too.
Yes,
well
he
done.
did.
Well stroked. Never give up. Keep persistence pays off.
So Zach Coons gets aboard. That's the first base runner, first hit of the day for COÁCH, and they are over that hump. And now Caleb Novak will step up. Caleb, an extra hitter. What career do you see yourself pursuing? And Caleb wrote
Uber driver.
Uber driver.
Good for him. It's like driving a car.
It's all about those tips.
By the time he's old enough, Uber will be a thing of the past, probably. It'll be the cars will be driving themselves. You won't need a driver. That's only 2 years away.
Caleb also plays basketball. Finds himself in a very favorable count. Counts 3-0 on Caleb. And there's ball four. So another base runner for COÁCH. Down to second goes Zach Coons. That's going to bring up Evan Readwin, one of the coach's sons. Evan sitting at 13 years old, and this kid's got a great baseball IQ, and that's such an important part of the game, Jim. Having that baseball IQ, knowing what's going on during the game.
Oh yeah, he might be the younger brother, and watching the older brothers, you learn a lot.
So Zach Coons on second, Caleb Novak on first, and COÁCH's got something going here. Here in the top of the third inning, they got runners on. They're down 12-0. And now we're going to have a nice little coaching visit.
It's like Brian Cordes going out to the mound.
It's Caleb Picinich on the mound, who's come in for Nick Findley. Nick Findley done after 2 innings. That's about what Coach Jay said he was going to pitch him at. You know, COÁCH, it's a team that's definitely building, and they're growing together. This is their first year together. They were newly formed this season.
It's the first year, like I said, I saw the TUGS 4 years ago when they first started. They used to come through Northwest Prospects and do their workouts, and they have just improved so much.
There's an interesting play as the ball was hit to the first baseman, Eli Readwin, pitcher. Picinich was covering first base. However, he thought that perhaps he had a better play at second base, and that's going to load up the bases for COÁCH. So
I think he had him if he came up throwing right away. He would have had it. I think he had trouble getting it out of his glove.
So Jacob Bice, the hitter, with bases loaded here on the top of the third inning, and the first pitch by Picinich. is in there for a strike. Big opportunity here for Wallachet. They want to keep this game going, keep this game in reach.
Well, one big hit now could make a big difference for them.
Runners take their leads, and that pitch is down and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Jake Bice, wearing number 29. This is his first year of baseball since his only year in baseball, and that was back in 2nd grade.
Oh, that's quite a jump for him. I wonder what he's been doing these years.
So this is a kid that's shown a ton of improvement throughout the season, and his bats really come on strong here towards the end of the year. And of course, that's where teams typically need you the most, especially when it comes down to postseason, and that's what Jake is doing. This is refreshing. Paul Goldschmidt. It's his favorite baseball player. From the
Another pretty good player to like. There's some awfully good young players in the game right now.
Well, there's a walk issued by Picinich to Jacob Bice, and that brings in the first run of the game for Wallachet. Now that's going to bring down to the number 12 hitter, Austin Hansen, left fielder number 9. So first run comes across for Wallachet. Runners all move up 90 feet.
Bob, and today we're here live. That was a terrible.
Base is still juiced.
Another.
Picinich has come in, and the majority of his pitches have been balls. He's walked a couple people here in the top of the 3rd inning. He's walked 2. He's also given up a couple hits. And that one's going to get away from the catcher, and Wallachet's going to capitalize. Covering home is Picinich. The throw is going to be late. And sliding in is Caleb Novak to pick up the 2nd run of the ball game for Wallachet. Everybody moves up 90 feet.
Everything he's done is consistently outside. He's not in, out, up, and down. He's just outside, outside, outside of those right-handers. He just makes to make an adjustment.
Of course, we talked about this falling off the mound, correct, Jim?
Yeah. Usually when you fall off to the mound, you open up and your ball goes high. That's not the case here. He's going, and he would throw it through the right-hander batter's box if he opens up too early, but I don't know what he's. I'm kind of pay a little more attention to see why I can see why he's.
Well, I'm wondering about that front foot. That front foot is opening up. A lot of coaches, don't they, coach coming down with that foot coming?
You'd like to be in a straight line, and his head's moving straight forward, so that's not the problem. You see guys, they jerk their head off to the side, but his head's right on line. He's just release point is just consistently in the off.
Well, here comes the next pitch, and that's outside as well. Colton Wage, the hitter. Pitch is high. Base is loaded yet again for Wallachet. Colton Wage, the hitter, playing center field. As we move back to the top of the lineup for Wallachet. So this is where you want to be if you're Wallachet, with the bases loading, heading up to your big hitters. Favorite baseball player, Taylor Motter. Ben Gamble.
Really? How about that?
That's recently updated. Those two are quite the players to watch with the Seattle Mariners. And there's another walk. Another walk spells another run for Wallachet, and then now it is 12-3. TUGS Premier. So here is Hazen Christensen stepping up to the plate. Hazen grounded out to the third baseman in his last at bat. There's a check swing, but it's in there for a strike anyways. And the count 0-1. So Nick Findley got pulled after 2 innings, and they brought in Picinich, and Picinich has had a tough time.
Well, he's got 2 in a row. He may have found his release point, though, so he may be a little fighting the nerves, too, pitching in this stadium.
Jacob on third, Austin on second, Colton Wage on first, Hazen up at the dish. 1 away for Wallachet, so they're trying to stay out of the double play here. Even better, they're trying to get themselves a hit with some runs, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. And Hazen goes down swinging, so 2 away.
think he might have helped him out. That looked like a little high, but he wants to hit. Bases loaded. Good for him.
So up steps Tyler DeLuca. Base is still loaded for Willachet. And that one's a little high. Coach calls this guy a bulldog and a warrior.
Well, he's got a chance to prove it right here. He could get them feeling good about themselves with a base hit right there.
That ball's popped up to left field, and it's going to be caught by the left fielder, Evan Bailey. That ends the threat. Willachet puts 3 runs up on the board. They pick up a hit, but they also pick up a bunch of walks, and that's going to do it. Metro Parks Tacoma is once again offering its summer playground and lunch program at 8 parks around the city. Playground leaders organize free games and arts and crafts activities for kids who drop in from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. on weekdays. At noon, free lunches are distributed to those 18 and under. This playground and lunch program is offered at Verlo Playfield in Franklin, Portland Avenue, Wapato, Wright, and South Parks. The lunch program is offered at Titlow Lodge and adjacent to Star Center. Well, we're here in the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Cheney Stadium. It's the Metro Parks Tacoma 14U championship game. And stepping into the box now is Jacob Parrish, the catcher for the Tugs. Score, Tugs 12 and Willachet is 3. Tough game for Willachet, but they've put some life into the game. Back on the top of the 3rd inning, putting up 3 runs on the board. They only picked up 1 hit, but picked up a bunch of walks.
That ball was hit pretty far right there. It was foul, but that ball went a long ways.
Turned on. It's going to be a souvenir for a young fella. This is catcher Jacob Parrish, who actually had a double in his first at bat, so we know this kid can hit.
Another one of those Vashon Island kids. They know the ferry schedule coming across.
The Islanders. Favorite food is pasta. Gotta love those carbs, and he's going to take a look at strike 3. So Jacob Parrish is going to go down looking. That'll be 1 away. That'll bring up right fielder Adam Pedigo. Adam Pedigo struck out in his first at bat, and he's going to take an HBP here with 1 out. So down to first base goes Pedigo.
I couldn't tell where that ball hit him. It sounded like it hit the helmet.
Sounded like it hit something.
The bat or the helmet. It sounded like it hit something hard, but must hit that. I don't know what it hit.
He's on first. Eli Readwin's the pitcher now for Willachet, coach's son. And Alex Wilson, the hitter now. Wilson grounded to the shortstop in his last at bat. Alex wants to be a professional baseball player when he grows up. You know anything about that, Jim?
Yeah.
No, doesn't know.
Back when I grew up a long time ago, and everybody wanted to be a professional baseball player. Everybody, it seemed like. It's refreshing to see with these kids. That's
Uber driver.
Go for it. Yeah, well. Back when I played in the big leagues, you probably needed a job in the off season. Uber would have been great. Would have been wonderful.
This one's way inside. He gets Alex Wilson to duck down and get off the plate. Count moves to 2 balls and no strikes.
I sold cars in the off season when I was playing in the major leagues for the Minnesota Twins.
You sold cars
in Minnesota in the wintertime, so good luck.
Wow.
Nobody's buy cars in the wintertime in Minnesota. Just about everybody but Harmon Killebrew had a job in the offseason because nobody made any money.
Counts 2-0, and Readwin steps off, takes a look over at Adam Pedigo, who's over at first base. 2 balls and 1 strike to Alex Wilson. The next pitch is way inside. And down to first base goes Alex Wilson. So back-to-back free passes given up by Eli Readwin. And something that you don't want to see, Jim, is see Willachet getting those 3 runs in the top of the inning, and you don't want to see those 3 runs go away because at this point it's a 9-run ball game.
He came out and got that first strikeout. I thought maybe on a roll here, maybe he can get a nice easy ground ball here or something.
Here's the pitcher, Caleb Picinich. Caleb, a big Buster Posey fan, and I love Buster. Of course, had that terrible injury a couple years back that took him out, and of course that was a big debate on whether catchers should be blocking the base path and whatnot. And all the
I think that's one of the big things that led to the rule change. I mean, there's definitely, you don't see that many happening anymore.
Well, but Buster's a good guy, great catcher.
He came back strong though.
Runners at second and first for the Tugs. The next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. Readwin came in on the hands of Caleb there. Caleb wasn't able to get that bat head out in front and hit that ball down the line. Now here comes the 1-2 on the way, and that's popped up to left center field. The Bermuda Triangle coming in, and that ball's going to be dropped. They're going to have an opportunity at third for a force, and that's not going to happen. So the errors continue for WLACHIT. That's Austin Hansen out there.
He had an easy play at second base, but I don't think anybody told him to throw to second base. He had him out by about 30 steps. He ran a long ways, and I thought he was going to make a nice catch.
Runners advance 90 feet, 1 out, a double play gets you out of this inning. And here comes Kobe Myers, and Kobe's got to be the smallest guy on the team.
I was thinking the same thing. All these guys 6 feet. And
second baseman.
The spark plug.
Kobe's got a great glove. Also, his bat's been heating up over the last month. He's got himself a nice situation here with the bases loaded. 1 away, the outfield is in on Kobe. That pitch is fouled away. Count moves to 1-2. Kobe hit .274 during the regular season, and now he rips this one through the 5-6 hole into left field for a base hit. Kobe coming up big on his day at Cheney Stadium, picking up an RBI. And the 13th run for the Tugs.
Now that left fielder was playing him so short because he's a little guy, but he hit that ball hard. He hits that ball a little bit to the left or right. He could run all day.
That's actually Kobe's second hit of tonight.
Made good contact.
Brings up Ty Radford.
Be careful about playing those little guys. He might be the next Altuve or somebody like that.
Tell you what, it sure is a trip going out to Safeco Field when the Astros are in town and seeing how small Altuve really is, and how good he plays the game.
When I played, there was a player named Freddie Patek, and he was 5'4". He was played for the Pirates, and then when I went to played for Kansas City, he was our shortstop. He had power. He could hit 20 home runs. Steals 60 bases.
This one's grounded to second baseman. There's a toss to second for 1. They'll hold it there. They'll get Kobe Myers over at second base on the force. For out number 2, run does come in and score. Caleb Picinich heads over to third base. And Ty Radford's aboard with a fielder's choice. So here's Jackson Blackburn. Jackson reached on an error in his first at bat back in the second inning. First pitch to him, he takes it for a strike. Eli Readwin's kind of found himself a little groove here. He's got himself a couple ground balls. Count is 0-1 to Jackson. Oh, this one's way inside. That's going to get away from the catcher, but holding up at third base is Caleb Picinich, but Ty Radford will head down to second.
I think he might have called off the dogs. They're not running, they're not stealing first and third, and he didn't have him go on that ball. It's like 11 runs ahead. Let's not do it. Let's not take too many runs. We don't need to.
Next pitch is going to hit him.
It's like one of the unwritten rules.
So that's going to load up the bases once again for the Tugs. That's going to bring up Justin Brennan. So bases are loaded. Sacks full of Tugs. And Justin Brennan, who had a base hit in his first at bat, advanced to second base on an error. He's going to step up. For a second there, I thought that was a tattoo, but it's his Under Armour. I thought his whole arm was tatted up there.
There you go.
It's like, holy smokes.
He might have some henna tattoos. He's the character. He's the.
This is the guy that likes spaghetti and syrup.
Yes, he is.
This is popped up to the infield. It looks like it's playable. The catcher is going to go up. That's Sam Haddon, and he couldn't hang on to it.
Oops. Nice catch.
Well, Sam had it, and it just, what, did it pop out of his glove, Jim?
Yeah, he just, I don't know, right at the very end, it looked like it moved on a little bit.
Well, Justin's favorite baseball player is Justin Brennan at the TUGS premiere.
Yeah, we didn't get it out because he wants to be an artist, but he likes bird watching and poetry.
Nothing wrong with bird watching and nothing wrong with poetry.
You can do them at the same time. That's the best part of it. You read poetry while you watch the birds. Nice throw.
Well, there's a ball hit to Evan over there at shortstop. And the throw over to first base is in time. That'll end the bottom half of the inning. 2 runs come across the plate for the TUGS. We've been through 3 here at Cheney Stadium. Your score 14-3 TUGS. We're going to head down to Hunter George, who's got yet another special guest. Hunter, who you got this time?
Indeed, thanks guys. This time I'm joined by Andrea Smith, the president of the Metro Parks Board of Commissioners. Commissioner Smith, thanks for joining me down here.
Thank you very much. It's a great to be at a baseball game.
This is a pretty neat partnership with the city of Tacoma, and it's a neat way to end our baseball season. Can you talk about Metro Parks, its offerings and its mission and how we serve youth?
So Metro Parks has activities and sports for youth all year long, with baseball being the summer sport, well, spring summer sport. And the amount of youth we serve is absolutely amazing. The numbers keep growing and growing every single year.
We've expanded, Metro Parks has expanded over the past year to offer elementary school sports in all 36 elementary schools, and there were some pretty neat goals in mind there. Can you talk about the purpose of that program?
So we are going to the elementary school, so kids don't have to worry about transportation. They just stay after school, and they're either doing basketball, baseball. I know we're adding golf in the fall, and I can't remember the other sport but
volleyball.
Volleyball, right. Thank you. So it's a great partnership with the school district. We're using their facilities, and the kids are getting active after school.
The ability to end our season out here and to have this all-star game and the game after this one, that's got to be pretty special to see their names and on the board and choose their walk-up music and things like that. What do you think about that?
It's like they're major leaguers, and it's great for the families to be able to come and watch their kids in a real stadium and with bleachers, and especially, like you said, they're named up in lights on the board.
Well, Commissioner Smith, thank you for joining us down here, and thanks to Metro Parks for having this opportunity. Randy and Jim, back to you guys.
We got the Metro Parks 14U championship game going on here. We got Walachit and the TUGS going at it. TUGS with a 14-3 lead.
I think we had a pitching change, so I'm not sure if that's...
For Walachit, it'll be Eli Readwin, and Eli and Evan, apologies from me. I've been calling you Readwin this entire time, but it's Readwin. So I apologize, guys. 0-2 the count. And Eli swings and fights through that pitch, stays alive, count still 0-2. Also Colton Waggy. Correct pronunciation there. Walachit is going to try and put some runs back on the board. They got some in the third. They got 3 in the third. Gave up 2, and that ball is well stroked to right field. Back on the ball is Adam Pedigo, and that's going to burn Adam and get over his head. It's going to stop just short of the warning track, and into second base goes Eli.
That was well hit right there. Had a nice sound to it. I knew he didn't have a chance, but just a matter of he was going to get 2 or 3.
Well, you know, you mispronounce some kid's name, and
it made him mad.
He takes it out on you.
It made him mad.
Nice hit, Eli. That is the third, make that the second hit of the game for Wallachet. And that ball's going to get away from the catcher, and down to third base goes Eli after he just laid down a double. So down to third on a pass ball, and now Josh Hinkel's the hitter. Josh Hinkel grounded to the pitcher in his last at bat. Favorite food is pizza. This is the guy that likes Kyle Seeger. He's got good taste.
There we are.
On deck is Mac Bryant, the extra hitter. So Wallachet's trying to keep chipping away at this score. The score right now 14-3, and there goes a free base for Josh. So he heads down to first base, and now runners at first and third. So we'll see if Josh will take off here. I know Jacob Parrish, the catcher for the Tugs, has an incredible arm. So
he'll be throwing if he's going.
We'll see how this plays out here. This one's grounded softly to the second baseman.
Get it out. Good play.
Hazen. And the throw to first base is not in time. That's Kobe Myers, I'm sorry, at second base, and the throw was just late. Good hustle by Mac Bryant, but Kobe just took a little bit too much time. In the score is Eli.
Kobe's got to know in his mind before the ball's hit, if it's not hit hard, get it out. Your 11 runs up, just get it out.
So here comes Sam Haddon. Josh Hinkel over to second base after that last hit. And of course, Mac Bryant's over there at first. Still no outs for Wallachet here in the top of the fourth. Next pitch is fouled straight back. Count is 0-1. Mac Bryant loves himself some lamb chops with mashed potatoes. Meat and potatoes kind of guy.
Yes, he is.
This kid hits really well.
There you go.
Right to the first baseman. That's going to be an easy unassisted play over there at first base. The runners will advance 90 feet. So Hinkel heads to third base. Mac Bryant heads to second. That's going to bring up right fielder Zach Coons.
First baseman filled that quite nicely. It's just like he's been doing that all his life. Looks like a shortstop.
So one away. Runners in scoring position for Zach Coons. Zach Coons singled in his last at bat. Zach Coons, a big Bryce Harper fan. Takes a big cut there, and the count moves to 2-1. Apparently, Coons is the team jokester for Wallachet. This is the guy that started halfway through the season.
Uh-huh.
Laid back, very funny kid. He's funny. He's funny because of how laid back he is. And he's going to take a walk here. He's going to load up the bases.
And he got, I believe he got their first hit too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Back in the third inning, Zach did, and now Caleb Novak steps up, and Novak followed up that first base hit with a walk, and this is the inning where, back in the third inning, where Wallachet was able to get on the board. And this was the part of the lineup that was able to do that for them. So here they come again, bases loaded.
They got a chance right now. They could do a lot of damage. They could make it. They can make it closer.
14-3 is the score. The Tugs lead. You got that 10-run rule after 5 that Wallachet's trying to avoid here, and they're not far off from it. They got that 10th run sitting at third base. Mac Bryant's over there at second base, that tall, lanky guy. Showing up on your screen right there, heading back to touch the bag. Counts 1 ball and 1 strike, fouled straight back by Caleb.
Yeah, I don't know. Even in a championship game, the rule is in effect, though. Is that correct, or do we know that? The 10-run rule.
It's a good. I'm all for getting rid of it. These kids playing at Cheney Stadium.
Yeah, let them play
10 runs, let them play the whole game. But
I don't know what the rule is for the championship game.
Zach Coons, the utility guy for Watchet. He's got a big stick. This guy can hit the ball really well. And he takes a look at strike 3. 2 away. Now, here comes Evan Readwin.
Number 64, Evan Readwin.
Readwin batting in the 10 spot today. Where's number 64, a number you don't see too often in baseball, sitting on a player's back, 64.
Yeah, you feel like he might be a tackle. You see the guy in a big league uniform, that's the guy who usually just came up, or in spring training you see that. I think that was my first number I ever had in spring training.
64.
Yeah.
There's the 1-1 pitch. Foul down the first base line. Count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, these kids get it all. They get the sound effects. They get the walk-up music. I mean,
they're going to be spoiled. They're not going to want to go play on the playground anymore. Don't give me a rake after the game, Coach.
That one's going to get away from the catcher and coming in to score. And he will score. Snack. Make that Josh Hinkel. Everybody moves up 90 feet. That was a wild pitch. Thrown a little bit too high. Count moves to 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runners on second and third now, and that pitch is fouled off the backstop. Evan Readwin, the hitter.
Who's our pitchers? Brennan is the pitcher now, isn't he?
Yep, number 3. Justin Brennan, yep, is now the pitcher. Jim, I know you teach hitting. You watch this front foot from Evan, how it kind of hits that left corner.
Yeah, he's a little tentative there. He's kind of headed out of town, you call that. Leaving the scene a little early.
Hey, get your whole family moving with Metro Parks' monthly running and walking events. The series is called Run the Parks. They take place all over Tacoma and include fun themes like the Tacky Tie 2 Mile, the Doggone Run, and the Black Cat Run. Check the schedule at metroparkstacoma.org/races or call 253-305-1022. That ball's hit the opposite way to right field. Zach Coons, I believe, still playing out there, number 29. That's going to be Jacob Bice, I'm sorry.
Well, that ball was in the sun. He did a good job of feeling it with his glove. And he must have his glasses on too, because he did a great job. You see that shadow right behind him. That's a tough play. That's a tough field right now.
Jacob Bice somehow snuck his way out there during one of these half-inning breaks. He was an extra hitter. Now he's playing defense out there. I'm sure there's more that we don't know about. But we're doing the best we can. This is Colton Waggy who steps into the box. Well, make that Grant Carr, I'm sorry. Swing and miss. 0-2. Grant Carr today so far is 0 for 1. He's was walked back in the first and then grounded to the shortstop in his last at bat as the leadoff man. Pitches outside. Boy, they must have that backstop mic'd up.
That is loud. You sound like the firecrackers last night.
Grant Carr, the Rooster. One-two pitch on the way, and that's a little inside for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grant Carr had 74 plate appearances, and he only struck out 6 times this season. This is a kid that puts the bat on the ball for sure, Jim.
Yes, he did.
That ball's laced to the third baseman, goes into the glove and pops out, and that's going to be an error charge to the third baseman. Hard hit ball.
Yes, it was. It's just like he had a goat head in that glove. It just popped right out.
Good things happen when you hit the ball hard in baseball. That's going to bring up Brady Cabezuela, coach's son, Jay's son. Ball gets by the catcher and holding up at first base is Grant Carr. Midfield playing double play depth. They got getting set up for a ground ball here to turn 2. 14-4 is your score. And a swing and a miss by Cabezuela. And the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike.
You got that shadow creeping down right now. It's getting just a little bit tough to see. It's going to get a little worse before it gets better.
You know, Mike Curto talks about that shadow. The Rangers, the AAA players deal with the same thing. And like you said, it's not easy to deal with as a hitter.
So it's that time of day. The ball's in the sun for about half the way there, and then it gets the shadows. It's tough.
2-1 pitch on the way, gets away from the catcher. Three and 1. The count over at first base is Grant Carr. He's got himself a nice little lead over there at first. And the next pitch is down low and away for ball 4. So Brady heads on down. First base, he's aboard for the 3rd time today. And down to second base goes Grant Carr, and that's going to bring up pitcher, well, no longer the pitcher, that's going to bring up number 28, Nick Findley. Nick Findley 0 for 1 today. Reached on an error and then walked back in the 1st inning. Favorite food is steak.
I noticed he also wants to work for Nike. I think he likes the shoes. I think he wants the discount on the shoes.
Oh, this is fun. He likes water polo other than baseball. It's quite the difference in sports.
Yeah, he's got a problem though. He says he likes to talk to the girls for his hobby. So baseball might be a second.
Oh man. Nick Findley wearing number 28 on his back, batting from the right side of the plate. Had himself a pretty successful regular season as far as batting. Hit .444. Second highest average on the team. He's going to take 2 and 1. Two-1 the count. Runners on second and first. 1 away. Here comes the pitch to Nick. Swung on and fouled back over on the first base side. It's going to get out of play. Well, you know, Jim, not a half bad crowd out here. A lot of family and friends coming out to support the kids in their day at the show.
Oh, I noticed the parents got here an hour before the game. They just wanted to be here. You know, this is not the bleachers they're used to sitting in.
This is not an opportunity that that you see happen quite often, where kids get to play at a ballpark like this. And of course, like you said, all the parents showing up. Everybody's excited about it.
There's 2 sets of parents. There's another game after this one. They're all here now, and they're really enjoying it.
Count is 3 and 2 on Nick Findley. Walachet looking for the double play to get out of this inning without any damage, and another walk is going to occur. Nick's going to walk for the 2nd time today. So down to 3rd goes Grant Carr. Brady heads to 2nd. And now Evan Bailey steps up to the plate. Evan Bailey loves Ken Griffey Jr. And who doesn't? One of his favorite players, if not his favorite player. And Evan wants to be a professional baseball player.
He's our first baseman, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
And I've just noticed him at first base, very graceful down at first base. He does a really good job. He's picked some balls down there. Good swing, too.
He's got himself a good swing.
Good swing.
Hey, Gabe! Gabe! Gabe!
Oh, that's right. I was going to say where he goes to school. He goes to IDEA. Whatever that school is.
Hey, buddy.
Evan Bailey leads the team in team batting average with a .460 average. Takes a swing at that pitch that was down and in, misses. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Also only 8 strikeouts for Evan Bailey this year and 80 plate appearances. So this is a kid that puts the bat on the ball quite often when he comes up to the plate. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. That one skips in front of home plate, gets away from the catcher. All runners will hold up. Well, we're in the top of the, we'll make that the bottom of the 4th inning here at Cheney Stadium. It's the Metro Parks Tacoma 14U championship game. All the marbles are on the Cheney Stadium field right now. The next pitch is swung on, and that's down the third baseline, just inside the bag for a base hit. 2 runs are going to score. They might have a play at third base here. The throw is going to be not in time, as Nick Findley slides into third base safely. And 2 more runs come across the plate after that Evan Bailey double down the left field line.
Well, nice going, Evan. That's using the whole field. The big left-hander went the other way right down the line. Off another big lefty.
Evan Bailey is 2 for 3 today. After that double, he's got himself a single and a double now. And now Gabe Ekret steps up to the plate.
Good keep, Sam.
Ekret doubled in his last at bat. He's got those baseball pants pulled up, showing the socks. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Gabe. That's a little outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Now Mac Bryant still on the mound dealing for Wallachia. A lefty. He's given up 2 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now he comes set. Here comes the 2-0 on the way to Ekret is down low for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. On deck is Jacob Parrish. Wants to be a lawyer. Watch out.
It's a pretty nice profession. There's always a need for him.
That ball is chopped to the first baseman. He touches it before it goes foul.
He tagged him.
And yeah, by the way, he reacted to that. I thought the same thing. I think that's the wrong reaction to a play like that, Jim.
I thought he tagged him, but then he turned around like he didn't tag him.
He put him on skates.
Holy smokes.
Gave the back with the mixer.
And now, Wallachit's coach, Coach Ray Readwin, wants to go out and have a chat with the first base umpire, and umpire gives him the sign. He says, yeah, he missed him. But, you know, they say you got to sell it, Jim, and that wasn't selling it.
I think he unsold it. It was everybody thought he had him tagged, and then he turned around like he didn't tag him. And if he just would have just not turned around like that, it would have been an out.
That would have been out number 2. On the play, Nick Findley scores. Evan Bailey goes from second to third. So now Jacob Parrish, the catcher, will step up to the plate. It looks like we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. Looks like Coach Ray is going to go with his other boy. Number 64, that's Evan Readwin. So Evan, the righty, is going to step in here. He's going to throw some warm-up tosses. Wallachit leads by a score of 17-4. We are in the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, our friends at Metro Parks want to thank the Tacoma South Sound Sports Commission for all the work they did to promote the active living. It's also Great for the economy. The Nonprofit Sports Commission generates millions of dollars in economic activity in this region as people come from other places to enjoy amateur athletic events in Pierce County. So I want to give a big thank you to Tacoma South Sound Sports Commission for all that you do to promote this region as a destination for amateur sporting events.
Well, some things never change in baseball. The outfielders know where the shade is out there while the pitcher's warming up. They found it. They're all huddled out there in the shade of the light pole. Don't blame them.
Those old Cheney Stadium lights. Those things have been up for years and years.
They have. I think they have some new bulbs in there, though. They're much better than they used to be.
They decided to keep a little bit of the old ballpark when they redid this place, and the lights was one of them.
Yeah.
So 17-4 is the score. Premier Tugs have themselves the lead here, and last time these two teams played, well, the Tugs put up 17 runs as well, and they've met that mark. That was the first time they met back at the beginning of the tournament to get to Cheney Stadium. COÁCH only was able to put up 1 run in that game. And the Tugs have been putting up over 10 runs this entire tournament, so it's a team that definitely knows how to play.
Yeah, they've playing together for 4 years and working out all winter long for 4 years. It does make a difference. Finding a facility around here is not easy sometimes, and you get the bad weather and everything, and these guys, they work out, I think, twice a week all winter long.
It's that select team mentality.
Yeah.
Well, Evan Readwin's come set. He's got runners at the corners to deal with, and now he's dealing to Jacob Parrish for the Tugs. Parrish is 1 for 2 today with a double and a strikeout. Evan's got runners at the corners. He's got Evan Bailey on third base and Gabe Ekret over at first base with 1 away. So double play gets Evan out of the inning and gets COÁCH an opportunity to put some runs on the board. Next pitch is fouled down the third base line. Count goes to 2-1. Jacob Parrish is the catcher for the Tugs, and his favorite baseball player is Yadier Molina. Yadi, yadi, yadi.
Of course, you would think with being a catcher, that's a pretty good person to have as your favorite player.
Indeed. And talking with Coach Jay about Jacob, just the fact that he is such a good catcher. He hits the ball so well. He has a good chance of extending his baseball career to high school and then even college. So
Vashon Island, they might have a pretty good team over there. They've got a lot of kids coming over here to this program.
Well, Jacob's over on first base now after a walk, and that'll bring up Adam Pedigo. Adam so far today 0 for 1. Hit by a pitch in his last at bat. And struck out in his first at bat back in the first inning. Base is full of Tugs. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, the Tugs have already put up 3 runs here in the bottom of the 4th. They lead 17-4. Stick around. We've got the All-Star game coming up.
That'll be exciting. There's a lot of good players, and I think it's all the way 16s, 17s, 18s. There might be some 15s in there, I heard.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Now it's a little inside, almost hit Pedigo for the 2nd time today, but he's able to back away from that one, and the count is now 2-2. On deck is number 37, Alex Wilson, for the Tugs.
Oof. He didn't even move. He went behind him.
All 3-2. Well, Well, Evans having some control issues now. He's dropped now 3 balls, 2 strikes. And that pitch is up and away for ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Evan. And that's going to walk in a run as Evan Bailey touches home plate.
Number 37, Alex.
Going to bring up Alex Wilson. Wilson 0 for 1 with a walk. Good cut there by Alex. Trying to get his money's worth here at Cheney Stadium in this at bat.
I don't think he wants to walk. You got bases loaded. Sometimes you need to leave the strike zone to hit the ball.
Well, for Wallachia coach, Readwin has been coaching for 9+ years. He played baseball at Tacoma Community College for 2 years and finished out playing college ball for Central Washington. So a guy that definitely knows baseball. Been around the game for a while. As that foul ball slaps off the hand of a spectator.
I noticed one thing, you don't see much amateur ball. They're keeping the balls in the stands. They're not giving them back. They're going big time on us for this.
One of the thrills of going to a ball game is catching a baseball
and getting to take it home.
Yeah.
I saw the umpire toss the ball to a kid, so I think they're saying go ahead and keep him.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. On the way, that looked like it had some movement to it, and it's outside to Alex Wilson. 2 balls and 1 strikes to Alex. Bases are loaded. The first base is in for Wallachia. And the next pitch on the way is swung on and popped up. Third base side over on the warning track, and that ball's going to bounce off the warning track and into the stands. Alex Wilson moves to a 2-2 count.
I got you the souvenir cup for 25 cents.
2-2 pitch on the way to Alex. That's inside, brushes him off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. So Evan Readwin, now the pitcher who took over earlier this inning, has had back-to-back walks. He walked Jacob Parrish. Now he just walked Adam Pedigo, and Alex Wilson has a 3-2 count on him. Let's see if he can come through here with a strike, and it's a little high and inside for ball 4. So that's 3 straight walks for Readwin.
Number 10, Picinich.
But here's Caleb Picinich. Caleb's reached on air twice.
There's a lot of people here now. It's getting really crowded. I managed some teams in Pro Bowl. We had less than this in the game.
I think the all-star teams are starting to show up, and this will probably be the biggest crowd that we'll have of the night, with both teams showing up here, being at the ballpark at the same time. Here's the pitch on the way to Picinich, and it's a little low. Ball 1. Caleb Picinich loves himself some ribs.
Oh, he's trying for some ribs right there.
This is his first year with TUGS Premier. One ball, 2 strikes to count. That one's going to get away from the
curveball.
Evan Readwin, that was a curveball that didn't break. He just kind of lost it out here.
Yeah, you got to get on top of that thing and finish out front.
2 balls and 2 strikes, and the two pitches swung on and missed for strike 3. So there's Good way to get back on track for Evan. After walking 3 straight batters, he comes back and strikes out Caleb Picinich for out number 2. 2 away, and here comes little Kobe Myers.
Here comes the left fielder. Last time he was real shallow, and he about took his glove. He hit the ball hard last time.
Yes, he did.
He ripped one last time. I don't think I'd play him too shallow. He might surprise you.
Kobe's 2 for 2 today, so baseball player not to be taken lightly. You see that look of determination in his eyes. He's ready for this 3rd at bat. Here comes the pitch on the way, and it's outside 2-0.
Says his favorite food is cereal. He makes a mistake with that, but he's a strong little man. He hit that ball hard last time.
Wants to get in the medical field when he gets older. Loves hanging out with his friends and family. So, family guy, sounds like a kid you can count on. Kobe will go going to Gig Harbor High School next year. That's ball 4 to Kobe. He's going to walk in another run. Jacob Parrish touches home plate.
One way or another, this will be the last batter in the inning.
The Tugs have put up 6 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. And Ty Radford steps up, the extra hitter. Pitch to Ty. That looked like it had some movement on him, but it looks like it's called for a ball, so 1 ball, no strikes. Ty Radford, this is his first year with the Tugs. Standing around 6'3" or 6'4", around those. And developing this year as a pitcher. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's going to hit Ty, so
that's 7 runs.
Ty's going to head on down to first base, and coming to touch home plate. That's going to do it here, as 7 runs have been put up on the board for Tugs Premier. So your score here at the end of the 4th inning is Tugs Premier 21, Walachet 4. You're watching TV Tacoma Sports Special. It's Metro Parks Tacoma 14U Championship Baseball here at Cheney Stadium. Well, we got Hunter George, who's been standing by with special guests all night long. Hunter, who you got now?
Thanks, guys. I'm joined by Lee Ellsworth, who is the Recreation Sports Supervisor for Metro Parks Tacoma. Thanks for joining me down here, Lee.
Happy to be here, Hunter.
So Lee manages the baseball leagues and this great championship. Tell us about this season, and how many teams, that kind of thing.
So it's an exciting opportunity for us to join forces with the YMCA and the Boys and Girls Club. We had 88 teams through our elementary school partnership, and then a little over 59 teams in our competitive league.
That's great. So on that elementary sports, this was the first year of that program. And the goal, as I understand it, was to eliminate that transportation barrier, to make it more accessible to students. Talk a little bit about the success in doing that.
It was a great opportunity for us to get the word out to all of the 36 elementary schools here in Tacoma, and we were able to bring sports to them in their community and break down that barrier for transportation, which seems to be a barrier across the nation for people to become involved in youth sports.
So you've been involved in Parks and Recreation for about 15 or 16 years. Have you ever seen anything like this, where offering a City League championship in a professional baseball stadium?
I have the first of its kind that I've seen out here. It's a great opportunity for these kids to get some experience on what it's like to play in kind of a big league field.
That's great. Well, and hopefully we'll see some of those elementary students that Leaf talked about out here on this field in a few years. Back to you guys.
Well, to the top of the 5th inning we go here at Cheney Stadium. Walachet stepping up to the plate this inning. Lead off the top of the 5th. It'll be number 29, Jacob Bice, who steps in there, who's got himself a walk today here at the Big League Park, Cheney Stadium. Pitching for the Tugs is Elisha Haug, number 5. Taking the mound, getting some time on the Big League mound, and Jacob hits this one back to catcher the pick of the ball, and it'll be out number 1. Here's Austin Hansen. Hansen also walked in his first at bat. Well, your score here at Cheney Stadium in the Metro Parks Championship game. Tugs lead 21-4. It's been a tough game for Walachit. Saw a lot of defensive errors in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, just
Jim.
not being prepared. They're just not ready to catch the ball. If you just catch the ball, the game's a lot closer. Yeah. Then the pitchers were walking guys, and then you get flat-footed. One thing leads to another. It just kind of snowballed.
Usually comes back to bite you, and it has. But tell you what, these kids are still playing baseball on a beautiful day at Cheney Stadium.
Yeah, you know what? It won't matter the score by tomorrow. They'll still remember playing. Just playing, being here is pretty special for them.
Austin Hansen once again is in taking his hacks, and he takes one outside. Count moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. 1 strike on Austin. 1 out here in the top of the 5th inning. Strike 2. Here comes the full count 3-2 pitch on the way, and that one's fouled over on the first base side in the Walachit's dugout.
That's the same spot he hit it a second ago. A little tardy there, young man. And right now it's easy to see now. The shadows are gone.
The pitch is up and in, so there's a 1-out walk for Austin Hansen. Second walk of the game. That's going to roll over the lineup to center fielder Colton Wagi. Colton started off this game in center field. Not sure if he's still playing there, but he's in the leadoff spot and trying to get something going for Walachit here in the top of the 5th inning. We've got a base runner on over at first base. That's Austin Hansen, who led off. Did not lead off. Jacob led off, but came up and got a walk. That ball is going to be popped up in front of us and off the hands of another spectator. I tell you what, when you went to ball games as a kid, right? You always bring your glove?
No. I probably would have left it there. My dad wouldn't let me take it with me. But I remember a foul ball coming right to me one time. Put my hands up and it got about 3 feet from me. I could hear it coming. I put my hands down.
Whether it's a Little League game here or a Rainiers game, I tell you what, it seems like fans are always trying to catch baseballs with their hands, and it never works.
They do hurt.
That's why they have gloves. Well, Colton takes a swing and a miss, and he's going to go down swinging. That brings up 2 outs here for Walachit. And now here comes Hazen Christensen. So Hazen's 0 for 2, grounded out and struck out. Now he's going to ground it to the third baseman, and it's going to be fielded quite easily in the throw over to first base. I think we have ourselves a ball game here at Cheney Stadium for the Metro Parks Tacoma 14U Championship game. Congratulations to TUGS Premier, who won it by a final score of 21-4 over Walachit. And you know, Walachit had a tough time with the TUGS Premier all season long, and you know what, quite honestly, almost every team in the division had issues with the TUGS. They're just a good baseball team, Jim.
They're good at baseball. The organization, they come out of the Northwest Prospects, who actually the Los Angeles Dodgers have worked with them. They take their instructors, they fly them down to do camps in LA, and they have been working just recently with the Mariners and trying to set up a program for youth baseball in the area. So it's a good organization, well run.
Well, that wraps things up for the Metro Parks Tacoma 14U Championship game. Final score, TUGS 21, Walachit 4. Jim, I had a good time. How about you?
A nice night of baseball, but a lifetime of memories for these kids.
Indeed. From all of us here at TV Tacoma, thank you for watching. Have a great night.